I got it in my head that I could build this monitor riser for the desk in my office, and I saw this one online that is like crazy ridiculously expensive, and there's absolutely no way that I could afford to buy that right now. So I'm thinking I might go to Home Depot and just like peruse the project wood section and see if I could make one today. I have like a lot of the tools already, which I'm very grateful for, so why not use them? So we're gonna head over to Home Depot and see if we can recreate this. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we'll see. I decided to take quite a bit of time to measure out how long I wanted this to be. I was considering how long my monitors are and that I wanted it to be just slightly smaller than the total length of my monitors. And then I lifted up some of the things that I know I'm going to want to be on the shelf, and I measured to make sure that they would be able to fit under my monitors. Then I headed out to the garage. It is so messy out here, so please excuse the kind of like chaotic background here, but we just finished up doing some pretty major renovations in my house, and the garage takes a hit every single time I end up doing home projects. I ended up going with 40 inches for the total width of this piece, and then 3 inches tall for the two little like legs that we're going to be attaching, and that ended up being absolutely perfect with my particular monitors. What I love about this project is that you can totally customize it to your specific setup and make it just absolutely perfect for you and the perfect height, so that was super fun. I did have to flip my piece over just to be able to cut through the total length of it because my miter saw does not slide forward. So I ended up having to be a little bit careful there and do a little bit of sanding on the edges, but it ended up being totally fine in the end. I also trimmed off a little bit of the end of one of the pieces because I didn't want like the knottiness of the wood to be on the top piece as much as possible. I really wanted to have that kind of like smooth, like almost bamboo type of finish, even though this is clearly not bamboo. And then I went ahead and clamped the legs together to make sure that they are like absolutely perfect and they matched each other really well. This was a little bit precarious setup here, but it did end up working pretty well. I decided I wanted to inset the legs to the top piece just a little bit. It's going to be a 1/2 inch on the front and on the back, so I end up taking 1 inch total off of the legs, and I think that this is what gives it that very sleek sort of modern look. I feel like if I had made them the same size of the top, it just kind of wouldn't look right. I gave everything a really good sand, paying special attention to the little labels that the lumber company puts on the wood. I started with 80 grit and finished with 150 grit on every single piece that we were doing. And then I do have a pocket hole kit. If you don't have one, I totally think that you could do this whole project with just wood glue and some clamps. So this is maybe a somewhat unnecessary step, but I love the look of a pocket hole because you can't see it once the piece is like flipped on its right side, and it just adds a little extra layer of like sturdiness. I will say that this wood is very soft, so I did have a couple of split points even though I was trying to screw this in really carefully. In the end, after I had stained and polyurethane the piece, it's very sturdy still, but definitely go really slow when you're screwing in your actual screws to make sure that you're not splitting the wood or accidentally going through to the top. I definitely practiced a couple of times on a piece of scrap wood just because I didn't want to waste all of the time that I had spent like sanding and like preparing this, so it definitely helped to have practice on some scrap wood. So I'm showing you guys the finished product obviously, but I want you to know that it didn't start off with me just doing that on the first try. Here's how the piece ended up looking, perfectly level. You know, that was to all of the men watching this who may be hating on my abilities here. Just a little moment of sassiness. And then here I am putting it in my actual room. Of course, Pizza Cat has to help. It was a little bit chaotic trying to move all of the things up. I actually just finished completely moving my desk area around again. I seriously can't stop rearranging everything. So I just did all my cable management, and I had to crawl under the desk and like loosen some things because I had done it a little too well, if you know what I mean. But I absolutely love the way that everything fits on the shelf. I feel like this shelf makes my desk feel so much more clean and minimal, and just, oh, I love it. I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. But yeah, here it is. I absolutely love it. I can't believe that this only cost $12 compared to $225. It's absolutely insane. I did go ahead and coat it with some polyurethane, so it will be waterproof and hold up very nicely, but I absolutely love her. Definitely let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!